This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
It's going to take an exceptional winter to fill the lake back up.
If you've been to Lake Tahoe recently, you have probably noticed a lot more beach than in a normal year. After 4 below average winters, the lake level is now more than a foot below its natural rim. And that is tonight's Channel 2 News big story at 5 o'clock. Look at all that sand right there.
Doesn't even look like a lake.
Doesn't. Well, Lake Tahoe's water level hasn't been this low in more than 2 decades, coming after another severe drought back then. Good evening. I'm Wendy DeMonte.
I'm Kristen Remington. Thanks for being with us. Here's the good news, though.
Okay.
It's still about a foot and a half higher than the all-time low, which was in November of 1992. But as you saw, it's still pretty darn low. Paul Nelson shows us how the lake looks today and how much it changed over this summer.
The water levels at El Dorado Beach in South Lake Tahoe normally come up to where I'm standing on this boat ramp, but 4 years of drought has changed that, including the last 5 months. Just to give you an idea, that's where the water level was back in May. The changing landscape is hard not to notice for Jeannie Perver. She lives on the South Shore for most of the year, spending time here for about 35 years. While the water has receded, she's finding a silver lining in the growing beaches.
Never took the walk that we discovered to take this year because it would have been on the lake bottom.
The water level was about 3 inches below the lake's natural rim in May. Now it's more than a foot below the rim.
The Truckee River stopped flowing towards Reno about a year ago. So we've had some nice rain over the last couple of days. It might have brought it up a little bit, but we are waiting for a big wet winter.
Concrete boat anchors stick out of the sand, and one pier after another dead ends at a sandy beach. And it's happening all over the lake.
Beginning of the year, the Kings Beach Pier was in water. It's been out of water, and there's 30, 40, 50 feet more sand.
The water along this stretch is more than 100 yards from the boat ramp.
It's really shocking because it's supposed to be right there. It's supposed to be right by the shore. Surprised to see how low the water was, that's for sure. Yeah, I know there hasn't been much snow, so I know the skiing's been pretty rough.
Residents say they've noticed things that haven't ever been seen along the lake, including new plant life.
The wildflowers and the grasses. One of my walks within the past month, I said, I feel like I'm walking on someone's lawn.
Nearly 4 feet of water can evaporate from Lake Tahoe every year. October tends to be one of the highest months for it when you compare evaporation to inflow. But this month has been better than other Octobers. The question now is how long it will take to recover.
It's taken a couple of years for the lake to drain, so it's going to take probably a couple of years for it to come back up.
Records show after the drought in the 70s, it took 5 years for the lake to come back up 6 feet. And then after the drought in the 90s, it only took 3 years to come up 8 feet. So the speed definitely varies depending on how wet our winters are. Covering the big story, Paul Nelson, Channel 2 News.